To lay out your wanted poster, you need 2 sets of guidelines and a box to draw your portrait in. So what we're going to do at the top, so it's going to end up looking like this. You're going to have what you're wanted for at the top, your portrait in the middle, and then your character name at the bottom. So to do that, I made it really simple. We're going to take the ruler and we're going to line it up with the bottom of the wanted, which is already on your paper. Okay, just watch me. And we're going to slide it down a little bit. Just a space, maybe about a finger space. And very gently, bless you, you're going to, very lightly, because these are going to disappear. They're going to go away. When we're all done, we're going to erase them. So we don't want to press really hard. You're going to gently spread your fingers out with your not writing hand and press the ruler to the paper. And then you're going to trace the top of the ruler. And then you're going to trace the bottom of the ruler. Easy peasy. Now, I need a midline. Remember those writing papers, the transition paper that you used in kindergarten and first grade that had the top line, it had the base line, and then it had that little dotted line? Okay, so what I want you to do is come down about halfway, and then you can just make a real light little, I'm just hopping along my ruler right there. And it makes a little dotted line. It looks like a road. That way my letters are going to be nice and neat when I draw them in. Okay? Now I'm going to come all the way down to the bottom. And about the same amount of space that I left at the top, I'm going to leave that at the bottom of my paper. Do you see that? About a finger, about a pencil width. I'm going to do the same thing over again. Spread my fingers out wide, right around the number 6. The 6 on the inches side. Thank you. It's about the 15 on the centimeter side. And then I'm going to gently drag my pencil across the top. Lift my hand up, do the bottom. And then slide it down. And do a little dot, dot, dot. And that's where I'm going to put my 2 lines, okay? But we want to start with our portrait. So what we're going to do with our portrait is we're going to take the ruler at the top. Are you ready? And I'm going to line this back up. See that? Lined it back up. And I'm going to go ahead and draw almost to the edge. I don't want to go all the way to the edge because I'm making a box. See how the line stops before it gets to the edge? All right, I'm going to come back up here. I don't quite need a whole ruler width at the top. So I'm going to do about half. Maybe just set those inches lines. See the inches numbers right here? The big numbers? I'm just going to set them on my old line. See that? It'll give me about a ½ inch or maybe 3/4 of an inch. And I'm going to just draw the, whoops, what did I forget to do? I forgot to stop. So I'm going to back that up a little bit. Okay. Now I'm going to come over here and draw this line. And then I'm going to come over here and draw this line. I can kind of eyeball it. Can you kind of see that it's about the same width all the way down? About. It's not exactly. I'm not measuring it. You can if you want to, but you don't have to. All right. So in this box is where my portrait is going to go. And you can kind of see how that's going to work in this example right here. Okay. All right, so I'm going to divide this oval in half lightly again with my guidelines. Even pieces, 4 even quadrants. I can go ahead and start to put my nose in. Now this time I'm going to look carefully at my nose to make sure it looks like my nose. and I'm going to draw the nose that I see. And put my little eyebrow placeholders in here. They might have to move later. No, you're watching right now, but thanks for asking. I'm going to go ahead and draw my eyes in right on the line. They're actually sitting on the line. Notice, I want you to really pay attention that when I'm drawing, I'm not even worried about erasing. I'm just worried about getting the shapes in correctly. And if it's not quite right, I just correct it with my pencil, and later I can go back and fine tune it and erase the parts that need erasing. Let's see, I'm looking at my mouth. Now, if you remember, your mouth is usually as wide as your as the centers of your eyes. What makes it look more and more like me is if I'm really paying attention to the mirror. And my lips kind of crooked because they were moving when I was drawing them. Okay. I can even change the shape of my face a little bit if I want to. I know that my face is a little bit narrower right here at my temple. Then it comes out for my cheekbone. See how the line comes out and then goes back in right here by my ears. So I can go ahead and make that little shape. And that really starts to make it look a lot more like me. I also know that I have a chin that is kind of bumpy. I have this kind of a cleft chin. Like a John Travolta style chin. Okay? Now all these extra lines are starting to get confusing, so I'm going to take an eraser and I'm going to go ahead and take those out before they confuse me anymore. But they're so light, you really can't even tell. But go ahead and put my ears on this line where I know my ears to be long. And I can add my hairline. Once I get to this point, I know that I can go ahead and add my hat in. Okay? Remember that your hat is going to sit between your eyebrows and your hairline. Do you see it? It sits between, this one's really too big for me, but it sits between your eyebrows and your hairline. See that? That's where it hits me. Whoa. So I'm going to come down here. I do try to make my hat symmetrical. I don't know why. I just like it that way. You have to draw a hat, yes. Kind of goes with the theme of it. Now, the other trick that I'll give you is that your hat, the top of your hat, needs to be as wide as the top of your oval. Okay? Once you get all that in there, a good idea of something to do is to kind of come back and erase some of these guidelines and get them out of your way so you can kind of see, oh yeah, okay, my hat band is going to be in here, and then this is going to be the edge of my hat. This is the back of my hat back here behind my ears. And then this little part right here, this is the part where my hair is, okay? So if I'm going to draw my hair like it was when I was wearing my hat, you're going to see my hair coming down to my ears where it was pinned down by the hat. And then you're going to see some hair come out this way. Okay? I can go ahead and add, I think for this one, I'm going to add one of those You know those high collars that the ladies would wear? You know what I'm talking about? They're like a high, it's like a high collared shirt. If you're tapping your pencil, please stop. Thank you. And then I can add right here, I can add like, I'm going to add the little, well, it's like a little sash that she's wearing. Okay? Any questions about what we're doing? All right.